Well, welcome out there once again to my program. Always a pleasure to have you out there, and always a pleasure to be here in the studio. I have a number of guests that are going to talk about a Charter Review Commission, and they are from Tiverton, Rhode Island. And what they're going to tell you is that every so often the charter in Tiverton is reviewed, and I believe it's, well, they'll let you know how many years interval in regards to the review. Charter review is very important. In the city of Fall River, we're undergoing a charter review also. And what a charter is, basically, it's the somewhat of the rules and regulations of a city or town. Fall River is an incorporated city, and part of its incorporation is that they have a charter. A charter is like a corporation has bylaws. You have to adhere to certain rules in order to function, the city to function, and the people to know what's expected of the city government. Without a charter, of course, elected officials can do what they want. They try to do that already, but with a charter, they're sort of confined. So, I'm going to introduce my guest, and we have Jeffrey Caron.
Hi,
Jeffrey, welcome to the program. You've been on a couple of times before.
Yes, I have.
How long ago?
Oh, it was back in the 2010, 2011 timeframe when we first passed the FTR in Tiverton.
All right, and the FTR?
It was the Financial Town Referendum.
All right, and that's still in effect.
Oh, yeah,
correct?
yep.
You did a wonderful job there, I understand.
Thank you.
Donna Cook, welcome, Donna. First time on the program.
Yes, it is.
And you're a candidate for the Charter Review Commission, correct?
I am.
First time running for office?
No, I'm on the Budget Committee.
All right, and that's an elected position?
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
So you're quite familiar with the town politics and how it functions?
Yes, I am. It's been a learning process.
Good for you. And we have Richard Rahm.
Yes.
Richard, welcome to the program.
Thank you.
First time you've been on.
Yes, it is.
And first time running for office?
No, I ran for state senate
State Senate?
in 16.
Against who?
I was in a primary against Amy Barry, and I lost the primary, and Amy went on to compete against Lou DePalma, and she lost to Lou.
Well, let's get down to let one of you explain what the Charter of Tiverton is about.
I can take that. So the Charter in Tiverton, as you mentioned, Richard, is a document that serves as the governing document for the town, and it creates the town council, and it creates a budget committee, and it tells you how you'll do your finances, and it tells you who needs to approve hiring and all these sorts of things. It's about 45 pages long.
45 pages?
Yeah,
wow.
The charter is about 45 pages long in total, I believe. 40 pages, 45. And the election for this Charter Review Commission happens every 6 years. It's actually been 7 or 8, I think, since we've had a full-blown commission. But it happens every 6 years. And there are 9 seats available. They're nonpartisan seats on this commission. And the election itself is Tuesday, July 18th. Very important. Tuesday, July 18th is the date of the election.
Now, the Charter Commission will meet once it's elected. You have the 9 members, and periodically the Charter Commission will meet. Is that correct, Richard?
Yes, that's my understanding of it.
And when they meet, they will take up some of the issues that will go before the voters eventually, possibly,
well,
in regards to the charter.
The charter gets reviewed and edited, changed by the commission, and then it's up to the town council to vote on it.
All right, so then it goes to the town council.
And then to the people.
Right.
All right, so if the Charter Commission, the 9 members, after meeting a number of times, I imagine publicly also, get the input from the citizens of Tiverton, they'll then pass on their recommendations.
A recommendation package, correct.
To the city,
right.
The town council.
Town council. And let me ask you this, Don, if the town council says, well, you know, you've given us 8 items, but we want to eliminate 2 of these items, do they have that
From what I
authority?
yeah, from what I understand, they can. They can add their own in, they can delete. I would think that there would be a reason for them to go along with the commission because we've put in many months of work to housekeeping on the charter and also anything that needs to be updated. And I would hope that they would respectfully go with the changes that the Charter Commission has come up with.
Do you think they could, or is there a possibility they could reject everything that you pass on to them?
They certainly could, but if you look at the history of the town and the town charter, since it's initially when Tiverton first adopted a town charter, the town council has always accepted the package from the commission and put it to ballot to the people. Cannot change the charter without an approval of the majority of the voters in the town, and that's per the Constitution. That's the only way.
The majority of the voters or the majority of the people that vote that day?
The majority of the people who vote, and you have to have a majority vote in
At the
a general,
special-
in a special election in this case.
No.
But the council's never blocked a charter review commission's proposal. They've taken them as a package historically every time they've had one of these. They've taken them as a package and put them to ballot for the voters.
All right.
So it's never happened.
Now, why is there a special election?
The
In other words, why couldn't this have been just put on the general election when the election comes up to save the town money in a sense? You're having a special election, that's a little additional cost.
Well, the town council decided that they wanted to have it sooner than later. And they have the final say on that, and they went to the Board of Canvassers, and they decided on the July 18th date. Whether I agree with it or not, we didn't have any say. It was up to the town council.
Town council decided. Now, July 18th,
Yes,
what day is that?
a Tuesday.
All right, a Tuesday, so that's not going to be a holiday in the town for the workers, would it? So they
No.
can go vote?
No, but it's the same for any election, though. I mean, isn't it usually a Tuesday and people don't really have the day off?
All
But
right.
the FTR is on a Saturday, and I had hoped that it would be on a Saturday, but it's not to be.
Okay, but really, are we getting into the FDR?
Yeah, well, you asked a question, Richard, if I may.
Yeah.
And so you asked a question which was, why are we doing this now on July 18th?
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot that happened in the background. Last summer, the town council last summer had their own hearings without a full-blown commission to look at making changes to the FTR. And they were talking about making changes that would prohibit, make it more difficult for electors to have access to the FTR ballot with an elector petition. Or they actually was one proposal last summer to get rid of the FTR altogether and get rid of the budget
Now,
committee.
the FTR, that's the FTR.
Financial town referendum.
Okay, financial town referendum.
Correct.
Now, that was put into place, as I understand, you can correct me if I'm incorrect, in order for an alternative budget proposal?
Well, it has a provision that allows any voter, any elector in the town to put forward their own proposal to run up against, say, the budget committee recommendation.
Okay, so, but that was not like that before,
It used to be a financial town meeting.
and that was chaotic.
It was chaotic. So then we brought in the secret ballot and the organization of a referendum. That was when I was on the show last.
Okay, and some people want to do away with that part of it?
Well, there's a contingency in the town that wants to, modify the FTR. Last summer,
Eliminate it or modify
well,
it?
we saw proposals to do both last summer. We saw one to eliminate it along with the budget committee and have the town council do everything with no recourse by a direct vote of the voters. We also saw proposals, for example, to raise the signature count to get on to do a petition from 50 to 1,000
1,000.
So it was a 20-fold number that was initially proposed. So they're obviously the reason there is to make it more difficult for the people to put in an alternate budget. In this case, perhaps to lower taxes. So that didn't happen last summer. But what did happen was they said, well, we're overdue for a charter review commission, so we'll have a charter review commission. And when we got to this point now, what prompted it to happen now is a secondary matter, which is the casino coming and the revenue, and how is that going to get handled?
Okay, I
So
want to ask...
that's a second issue which drove all of a sudden, hey, we are going to have one, and the election's July 18th. There's some
Okay.
motivation there.
I want to ask this question, and I don't want to be remiss and let the program end. Now, as the Charter Commission meets, you have the 9 members, they send proposals, we'll say, once again, 6 proposals to the Town Council. Town Council takes the whole package and says, fine, we're going to put that on a ballot, the whole 6. My question is this: is this a up or down vote, in the sense you vote yes for the 6, or you vote no for the 6?
No, they'd be individual. They're individual. Approve, reject 6 times.
Okay.
Individual questions.
Fall River does not have that.
Really?
So that's why I asked the question, and you're sure now?
Well, everyone that I've been through, and I've been through a few of these, have been
All right,
individual
so
questions.
that's an important thing, because
Sure is.
you can look, the voter can look at the 6, might choose number 1, yes, number 2, no.
Ballot gets kicked.
What do you mean the ballot gets kicked?
Or in Tiverton, we can do that, yeah.
Yeah, okay,
Right.
so you can vote for number 1, but I don't like number 2, I
Right.
won't vote for that.
Right.
Then all these are tallied.
Mm-hmm.
So you decide how many yes votes you have for number 1 and how many no votes. If no votes outweigh the yes votes, that's stricken.
Correct.
Is that correct? All right, so wanted to get that clear, especially for the people out there, people from Tiverton who are going to do the actual voting. So, all right, so that process, well, it seems to be quite simple in a sense and clear. Now, you have 9 people, and I guess it's majority rules, Richard, on the Charter Commission, so
Yeah,
if
it
there's
would be
a proposal,
right.
5-4 wins.
Right. Some of the things that I'm concerned with is, of course, the FTR. I have heard...
And
like-
that'll be taken up by the Charter Commission.
Right. And I have heard people say, like Jeff mentioned, we want to get rid of it, modify it. And I'm always astonished that people would want to do that. I look at the FTR as the people controlling the purse strings of the city. You give direct power to the people. And why you would want to eliminate that, it just goes beyond me. I don't understand that. All I can think of is there are people out there that want to raise our budget, raise our taxes, and the FTR stands in their way.
Go ahead. I don't want it to go ahead.
And I just, my whole philosophy when I was running for Senate was the more power you can push down from the state to the local communities, that's generally speaking a good thing. You let people control their own destiny, their own government, right? The FTR pushes it even further, right to the individual. It gives them the power to make the decision. What budget? It also gives them the power to submit their own budget.
Let's bring that chart up, because I think, Jeff,
Sure.
And give us, let's get, okay, we got the close-up.
Yeah.
Oh, it's on the...
It's on the screen.
it's on
Oh, it's
the
on the
screen
screen,
there.
okay.
So this is a chart that shows the tax levy increases from 1990 up through the current year. And the vertical line in the middle is the year that the FTR was enacted. So in other words, the financial town meetings ended and the FTR began. And if you look at the chart, you'll notice a very steep climb in taxes. Some of those years were 10 and 11% tax increases per year.
That's
then
before the FTR.
before the FTR.
11%, 7.8, okay.
Right, there's some big increases. And you can tell by the slope that we saw. And then the FTR was implemented in November of 2011. The first vote happened in 2012, in the spring of 2012. And you'll see it was the 2.6%, 2.2. And then you see 0.9, 0.9, and 0.5%. So the FTR has clearly offered a mechanism.
And there's
for the-
even zero.
Yeah.
I mean, no increase.
No increase at all 1 year, yeah. So the FTR has clearly offered a mechanism for, and it's proven with 6 years there, to curb the rate of taxation in the town. If the voters are engaged and involved, there's a mechanism here to do that. And as Richard said, it's somewhat a little bit baffling. Why would anyone want to take that away if they already have it?
Yeah, if taxes are going down, that's usually something
Right.
that
Right.
taxpayers want. They want to pay less taxes. Yeah, that's surprising. Now, so that'll be taken up by the Charter Review Commission, and once again, 9 people on a commission. Now, you expect a lot of late night phone calls? I mean, you're taking on a big job.
I would
think.
hope a lot of late night phone calls.
I mean, you're going to have people lobbying.
Sure.
Do you think they have the unions in the town? You have teachers. I guess they're unionized. You have the teachers. You have firemen and policemen. You think they want to have, or they will be strongly trying to influence the Charter Commission?
Well, I think that we're already starting to see some of that, not so much from the FTR standpoint, but from the casino revenue
All
standpoint.
right, let's go ahead.
Yeah.
I want you, Donna, you want to get in on the casino revenue? Now,
Yes.
The casino is going in Tiverton. That's been decided.
Yes,
And they're working on the grounds as we speak, correct?
that's right.
It's going to be a big facility. I understand a hotel with 600 rooms?
No, I think it's 64.
Oh, 64 rooms.
Right.
All right. But a massive place in a sense. A lot of money will be coming in. You're right next to Fall River, the highest per capita gamblers in the state of Massachusetts, in Fall River, right next door to Tiverton. They're going to flock over the border, and they're going to feed those machines, and that casino is going to take in a ton of dough. What's in it for Tiverton?
Well, what's in for Tiverton is they're saying $4 million. We're guaranteed $3 million from taxes and fees, and many people, I feel that, and myself included, voted for the casino because I wanted tax relief. Found out recently that the intention is to not have the casino money, or they call it gambling revenue, casino gambling revenue, giving it another title, or so that it's not part of the FTR process and budget process. It will be outside of it.
Outside, a special fund, a
Yes.
separate fund?
That was,
Slush funds.
yes,
Concerning.
it was very
That seems
eye-opening that in the back of all this, it was never talked
And
about.
who will have control? I mean, well, obviously people
The
in
town council will have control of all this money. Well, the $1 million will go into the budget, the general fund, but the $3 million or more will not. So that's a problem, because now the taxpayer has no say, will have no say on that money, or possibly no tax relief.
So the voter, the taxpayer, the resident of Tiverton is not going to be able to decide, Richard, on where that money goes?
That's entirely possible if the charter is not amended such that we can protect that money and give control to the voters.
Okay, so
They-
there'll be
they
some
come up.
aspects of the charter review, some item or two in there that you want to pass on to the city council in regards to casino revenue. Am I correct?
Most
Jeff?
likely, yes. And right now, Section 1214 of the Charter states that all miscellaneous revenue shall go to the general fund.
And miscellaneous would
Would be
include?
the casino gaming
Yes.
money. So one of the reasons that I believe, and what I've heard through my time in town hall, that all of a sudden we're having this charter review commission is because the charter needs to be changed so that the money doesn't have to go into the general fund and it can go into side accounts.
Right.
So there's a big
I see.
competition to change the charter, section 1214 in particular, so that the money can be diverted away from the process that the taxpayers are engaged in and into potentially side accounts or other purposes. So does that
Okay,
make
so
sense?
there's a potential pitfall here in regards to the Charter Review Commission, because if certain people,
Well-
as you explained, get on it and go based on what you just said in a direction that the taxpayer would not like, that could be a possibility, because it would be sent on, of course, to the, Donna, yeah?
Right, there would be maybe not the tax relief that people were hoping for. It would be
So
diverted.
those real estate taxes might not go down.
That-
Would be
That's
kept
right.
level.
It would be, instead of the taxpayer deciding through the budget and money going into the general fund, that the taxpayer wouldn't have any say whether they wanted to have new spending or not. They would have no say. And that's, I don't think that's good for the town. I think the taxpayer should have say.
Let me ask you this. Now, the casino money is, let's start from the beginning. Who decided on the amount to begin with?
That was all kind of tied in with Twin Rivers and the state, and they had different the casino people. Twin Rivers had different amounts for table games versus slot machines, and it's my understanding that they worked a deal with the state to make it uniform percentage for all table games, regardless of whether they're in here or in Lincoln. And so when you do all the math, it ends up being that the casino guaranteed $3 million a year minimum of gaming money, plus the $1 million in real estate property tax. So that's the $4 million. So $3 million a year minimum is what they've guaranteed the town.
So as long as they exist there,
And the doors are open, I guess. Yeah.
they're going to have to give the town $3 million plus the one.
Plus, right.
Whether they do this amount of business or this amount
And
of
it
business.
can go up. It can go up from 3 too if they do really well. But
3 is minimum.
correct.
And that's based on a percentage, you're saying?
Right. Well, it's based on the things in the state law or just the rate that they use. But that $4 million total, what's important to realize is that represents 10.5% of the tax levy. So if all of the money were used to lower taxes, we could drop the tax rate 10.5% in Tiverton.
That's significant.
It's very significant.
Because usually taxes always go up.
Right. So this is a big issue. How much of that money is going to go toward tax relief versus how much of that money is going to be diverted for new spending or for union giveaways or things like that. So this is really one of the central issues of this section in the charter about diverting the money away.
Now, the question was raised that will this money be built into the town's budget? And the question was raised because if there's a fluctuation in the amount of money from the casino that goes into the town budget, would that have some sort of an effect if the town is relying on that money? Or will the budget just be adjusted each and every year based on the amount of money the town is going to get?
Yeah.
When are you going to find out? Let's say this thing is just booming right along, and $3 million is minimum, but it looks like the town is going to get $4 million or $5 million. When will you know?
I think we get quarterly payments.
Right.
And so
It's
I think
quarterly,
it's quarterly
right.
payments, and
Oh,
we'll
okay.
probably
So-
find out, a little bit after the quarter ends, there'll be a set of books,
Right.
I think,
All right.
every
So
quarter.
if the payments are going up, obviously there's additional money
Mhm.
coming into the town budget. But I guess we're back to the question is how will this money be used?
Right, that's really the
That's
question.
the important.
Right, and we're saying that the FTR and the process that is in place now should be the process that determines that,
Yes.
not special funds or anything of this nature. When I was out campaigning for Senate, I went a lot I went a lot. I did a lot of door to door, and that was one of the questions they asked me: am I voting for the casino? And I always told them, yeah, I'm voting for the casino. And I had two reasons. One, I believe in property rights, but the other one was I want my taxes. I mean, we just pay way too much from taxes.
Tax relief.
Right, tax relief, and that was the general consensus that the people that wanted the casino, they wanted relief. Right? They don't want new fire engines, new police cars, new assets. They want tax relief, all right? And we're not saying we're going to modify we're not saying we're going to modify the charter to guarantee that. We're saying we're going to make sure that charter gives you the opportunity to go out and vote, and you determine.
Okay, I want to mention, and then I want to ask a question. I just want to mention that if there's anyone out there in the viewing audience that feels they would like to come here and be a guest on my program that has, we'll say, an opposition or a different view, it might not be a completely different view, but maybe some kind of a different slant, a different idea. You're out there in Tiverton, you're watching the program, you're welcome to call me, and I'll have you come on the program. So I want to give everyone, I don't have to in a way, I want to give people in Tiverton equal opportunity on my program to voice their opinion in regards to the Charter Review Commission. So, I was going to pick up on something you said, and
Well, Richard was just saying that one of the thrusts that I believe is shared at this table is that the voters have a direct say on how the casino money is used. And to do that, we want to keep the money in the FTR budgeting process. And it should be a line item like any other revenue. Oh, all of a sudden there's $3 million there. What are we going to do with it? And it should be part of the vote, the annual vote at our FTR every spring. And I think that's where Richard was. We want the people to have the same power they have now, except there'll be $3 million additional that they can vote to do what they want with it.
okay, I think we'll be finishing up soon, and I want to get this question in, and that is, the Charter Review Commission meets only every 6 years. Do you think there should be a proposal, or might be a proposal that it meet more often? Let's say for some reason the tax aspect of it, it doesn't come out, doesn't, as the Charter Review, some of the people on the Charter Review would like to see it. Do you think 6 years is a long time to review a charter? And maybe an item should be put in that the charter be reviewed every 3 years or every 2 years?
I think to take that really quickly, the 6 years, the count, there's only two ways to change, to get something on the ballot to change the charter. One of them is, and really one way, through the town council. So the commission is one way to take a broad-based view at that and look at the charter and promote that to ballot for the people to vote. But the council has that prerogative. And what we've seen in Tiverton is that every couple of years anyway, there's always a charter change or two submitted by the council directly.
I see.
So these interim in fact, when we did the FTR, that was an interim update as well.
All right, I want to thank my guests, Jeff, Donna, Richard. I hope you do well in your election, your
Thank you.
campaign, and
Thank
get
you, Richard.
elected.
Thank you.
And I have an audience out there. Let's give them a good hand. I think they did a wonderful job. And thank you out there for watching. See you next time.